Recently, my relationship with social media has become somewhat unhealthy. It's both a way that I feel connected to the world and disconnected from things around me. It's something that allows me to share my work, but it's also something that distracts me from working. I think that just living in a world where everybody's constantly posting and checking has made it feel okay for me to do that. I feel like a reevaluation of my relationship and the way I use social media is in order. I realized I needed to devise an experiment. 1 week of heavy use of Instagram and Twitter, posting every day, using it unlimited, and then 1 week of nothing, an absolute social media blackout. At the end, I'm going to reassess and see how I feel about both of these platforms and how I should interact and use them. Before the experiment though, you need a bit of context. I have had a brief history with social media. Starting around early 2019, I began using Twitter and Instagram as a viewer. While I knew it was something that distracted me, I liked it, so I kept using it. Then, sometime around winter 2019, I began posting on both. This was a radical shift. Being someone who creates content is so much different than being someone who just consumes. Instagram is addictive. You post, then you check over and over, seeing likes and comments. I quit posting on Instagram after just 2 weeks. Twitter is different. You post a thought or a picture, a few people see it and maybe like it. It's a different feeling. I stayed on Twitter. Which brings us to now. Me not posting but still viewing Instagram, and me posting and using Twitter. Okay, this is day 1 of my social media experiment. I'm starting off right now. I'm posting on Instagram every day and Twitter every day. Okay, smile. Okay, so I'm officially done my 1 week of using social media every day for that week. Now I've completely stopped using social media, and we're going to do that for a week. So some observations on using social media for a week. My phone use went way up, and my most used app every day was Instagram, which it was not before. Before it was either like Netflix or Twitter or some other app, but Instagram quickly shot to the top of the apps that I used. And I don't actually scroll through Instagram that much, so it was mostly me posting things or me looking at comments or refreshing the page. I found myself checking Instagram and Twitter way more than I usually would, just walking around I would check it, things that I don't want to be doing. Probably checking an unhealthy amount. So I think we could say it had a negative impact, but there were also some positive impacts. So I found that there were a lot of things that I liked sharing on Instagram and Twitter. I liked sharing my favorite records. I liked sharing things about movies. I liked sharing those things, and I liked starting discussions about things and things like that. I liked connecting with the people who watch my videos more, and I liked having discussions and things like that. I think the key is finding a balance between those things, because there are positive things, like making connections with new people, talking to new people, and then there's negative things, like the amount of time I spend thinking about this. I don't want to spend a lot of time thinking about social media, which is what happened when I started doing this challenge. So I think if after this week of not using social media, if I do start using social media again, I'm going to have to set some sort of restriction for myself, some way to either restrict screen time or do something like that, because I found a lot of it was just checking, because Instagram and Twitter, these apps are designed to make you want to see if more people like your post, or if more people, they're designed to make you want to check them. And I don't want to become a drone who's constantly checking things. I also want to think if they're advantageous, or if I really do enjoy them, or if they're just a quick thrill, because there's always an enjoyment in seeing that somebody liked your post. But is there a long-term benefit, and am I mentally getting something out of it? So I think that's going to be the real question I have to answer at the end of this, is it beneficial, truly, to me, to do this? Alright, so I have a lot of observations from being off of social media for a week. I think the main takeaway is that social media is not good for me. I would say I do in fact have an unhealthy relationship with it. I don't think it's even the posting element as much. It's just that it's there. Like, it's that I know I can check it and I know I can post on it, and that is somehow very distracting for me. First of all, I was like super productive this week, and I think part of that is because I didn't have the distraction of social media. Like, the week I was using social media, my screen time was maybe in like, I don't know, it was really high. But then, when I went off social media, my screen time got cut down 40%. So 40% of my screen time was gone, like, on my phone. So that was, like, a huge thing. The other thing was that, like, I wasn't thinking about, like, talking about things I'm working on at all, which may sound weird, but, like, on Instagram and Twitter, I'm like, I want to tell somebody about this project I'm working on. So I would post about it, but I didn't even think about that when I didn't have social media, so it was just dead focus on what I'm doing, which was good. I got so much done this week. Also, like, just when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I would do would be like, okay, so you check social media. But if it's not there, then I would just check the news and get out of bed. I found that, like, once I stopped, like, by the end of the week, I wasn't even thinking about checking it that much. Like, it wasn't a thing that was constantly on my mind or anything. I just forgot about it, and I was better for it, so I don't know, it was really interesting. So what am I going to do with this knowledge that social media isn't the best thing for me now that I have it? That's the question. And then nothing happened. The day the experiment ended, I re-downloaded the apps, and although they didn't feel the same as they did before the experiment, I still used them. Finishing this film got delayed, until one night, about a month after this whole experiment started, when I finally had a revelation. So something happened last night. I was sitting working on my computer trying to write something, and I was watching YouTube, and a series of factors made me realize, wait, this is not the kind of person I can become. When I realize something is wrong, I need to change. If I continue, I am not the person I say I am. I would be blatantly betraying the person I try to be, which I cannot do. So I deleted Twitter and Instagram. They're gone. I'm not going to set it as like a ban of like I can never use it, but I'm not just going to scroll anymore. Everything has kind of reversed from the beginning of this experiment, where I didn't like making things on Instagram and Twitter, and I only viewed. Now I'm only going to make things, and the only reason I'm doing that is because I think it's a useful tool. But otherwise, I'm done with it. I just said, fuck it. Done with Instagram, done with Twitter, done with all of it.